So, the coldest winter they ever knew. Because they got left behind. Hmm. Where to start with Atlas? It used to be Mantle, or originally the settlement where the pioneers ventured out to that was created was called Mantle. And then they expanded and they created. It wasn't called Atlas. It was called Altus or something like that. I can't. I didn't quite get that name, um, but it wasn't until the Great War where they mass-produced weaponry and other technologies to fight in the Great War. And then after the Great War was when they founded the Atlas Academy, which, from what I understand so far, is also the capital where the kingdom is of Atlas. So, so. It's interesting. It's interesting that so far, each kingdom has like their own way of surviving, I guess you can call it, and thriving at the same time. Because when we think about Vale, we think about, you know, a balance, a perfect balance in which the kingdom has survived because it's surrounded by natural geographical defenses. And I don't think Vale is super advanced with weaponry and technology, so to say. And they haven't really contributed anything to society that, stands out, so to say. So I think of Vale as like the neutral kingdom. It's not awesome, it's not horrible, but it's like, it's a balanced place to be. I mean, you even have Patch, which is, cute little island. Great for raising a family, if. That's your sort of thing. but, but so that's Vale. It's like balanced. Um, doesn't stand out for much. It's like a balanced place. And then you have Mistral, which stands out for its contributions to society, both in the positive side and on the underworld, so to say, things that are available to acquire for the right price. And now we have Atlas, which is known for its ability to survive and adapt. And I guess the word I'm looking for is not thrive, but like evolve to survive in a way where you find new answers, new reasons, new technologies in order to make life possible. Is the best sentence I could come up with right now, because they went out into the harsh conditions, I'm certain that people were saying like, oh, it's a pointless endeavor. We're gonna die. We're not gonna survive out there. The Grim are gonna get us. It's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be a disaster. And yet, this harshness is what allowed them to create a defense, a natural defense against the Grim. But that same defense is also what hindered them to the point where it made living or, you know, gosh, how do you say like they couldn't grow crops. I'm sure they couldn't grow crops because of the weather conditions. I'm sure they couldn't farm animals. Um, maybe fishing, maybe, but it made living conditions really hard, really difficult. And so they thought to themselves, "Hey, let's living on top is hard. Let's just go underground." And because of this, they were able to find huge dust deposits. And with these dust deposits came new ideas, new concepts, new technology that allowed them to find a way to survive into their harsh environment. For some reason, I'm thinking about and the parallel with our world that keeps popping up in my mind is when the Germans tried to invade. Was it the Germans? Oh man, my history is rusty. Um, I don't know if it was the Germans or if it was before the Germans, but don't follow my details on this because I'm not certain about this myself. But Russia, you know, thinking of parallels with our world, Russia is very similar to Atlas in a way where they used their climate, their environment, as a form of defense. Because when countries have tried to invade Russia, what the Russians do is they're like, oh no, let's just fall back. And the deeper in that they go into the Russian country, the more exposed to harsh winters and colds, Siberian colds, that other countries are not used to, and they either end up dying or they end up being forced to retreat or whatever other aspect that may happen. And that is a natural defense that Russia has. So for some reason I'm thinking about this parallel with our world that kind of like pops out for me at the moment, and that Atlas has this natural defense. And so yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you because it kind of like came up to the front. So so the kingdom, the capital of Mantle, was formed and thriving, developing, being able to sustain more life, and then they started expanding, and then Altus, I think it's Altus, I don't remember the name properly, but the Altus Academy was there. But then after the war, it reopened as Atlas as a way for a training center for the hunters and huntresses that were left looking for guidance after the war. And with this, it expanded with more technology, research centers, and eventually, like it said, the military stepped in. And I saw the picture of James there in the front. I don't know who it was on the on his right, um, but James was there symbolizing the military. And what else? So anyway, it just kept on developing because of that. And so Atlas, I guess a symbolism for Atlas would be survivability, adaptability, and seeking power. Also, it helps that the geographic location of Atlas had a lot of mining deposits that allowed for all these resources that allowed for this development, for this ability to be able to keep pushing forward dust technology and finding better, stronger, and powerful ways to ensure that Atlas kept on the forefront of technology, which is true in a way, which has been reflected, because so far no other kingdom that we've seen up to this point has had the capacity or the capability to develop advanced weaponry like Atlas has. Atlas has ships, warships. Atlas has um, robotic soldiers that are also automated. Atlas has freaking mechs. They have the paladin units. Atlas has soldiers, a lot of soldiers that are not hunters and huntresses because they're issued the same gear. They have soldiers with weaponry and armor. Atlas is advanced in the field of robotics and cybernetics because I'm thinking about James Ironwood, General Ironwood. They have very large advantage. So Atlas is like the technological spearhead, the technological forefront in the world of Remnant. And they have delicious snow cones. No, I'm getting sidetracked. But Atlas, hmm, it's interesting when you think about it. So Veil is balance, not technologically advanced, but not deficient. Not not a huge contributor of society, but not deficient. And then you have Mistral, which is huge contributions to society, both good and um, underground, but not that strong in technological advances because they respect the land. So they probably don't do that much mining. I don't know if Vale does mining as well. I'm sure they might, but so far I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. That's what I meant to say. And then you have Atlas. Not that many contributions to society as far as, arts and design, architecture, and fashion, so to say. Not a balanced place to live in, but they are on the forefront of technology and weaponry, particular weaponry. Hmm. So, so that's what we have so far, which is interesting. It really is. It's funny how one kingdom shines for one thing, another one shines for another thing, and then this one shines for another thing. And that makes me wonder what Vacuo, it's the next one, right? What Vacuo has to offer. Because we have technology, we have arts, we have life balance. So what does vacuo have to offer? Or what is the strong point of vacuo? Technology, arts, or beauty? Technology. WOR. What should I associate Atlas with? Because it's mostly military, so combat proficiency, war, offensive, ingenuity. What should we associate Atlas with? If we were to describe Atlas with one word, what would it be? I would have to go with if I were to sum it all up into one word, what would it be? Might? No. Ingenuity? No. Atlas shines because of its military power. They have military strength. They have resources. They have technological advances. They have robotics. They have that requires intellect. That requires knowledge. That requires what would I call all of this with a single word? I would call this the ability to survive. The ability, they have courage to go out into the middle of the harshest environment and try to settle. And because of this, they were able to find ways to survive. Adaptability, but adaptability doesn't reflect their, I guess, their power. Ingenuity is great because they were able to find new ways to use dust and apply it in order for them to survive. But what is a good word to describe Atlas? Part of me wants to say it's a mix between courage, ingenuity, strength, power, determination. That's getting close to where I want to go with this. Um, resolve. Oh, that's a word I can't come up with, but it's a mix between all these things. If I were to describe it with one word, I would have a hard time finding that word, but it's a mix between determination, strength, resolve, courage, intelligence, ingenuity. If I were to describe Mistral with one word, Mistral is Mistral is Creative. Creative is the best one because they provided all the arts, all the architecture and fashion. So creative. I don't want to say natural, but they respect the land. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm just tormenting myself trying to find one word to describe each kingdom. So I'm not. If I were to describe Vale with one word, I would say Vale is, I don't want to say balanced, but it's the best that comes to my mind right now. Because Vale has just a little bit of everything. It has the ability to survive. It has the ability for you to live peacefully. It has the ability, or the, not the ability, it has it offers. The Kingdom of Vale offers a place to live peacefully, natural defenses, the necessary things to carry on in life. You know, has their fashion, has their strengths as far as military, and I just don't think Vale has a military. I don't think they do. They just have the hunters and huntresses. I don't know. I'm curious about Vacuo. I'm curious about what Vacuo has to shine for. So let's leave it there for now. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate everything you do and all of your support. Until next time. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care and bye bye. ふわふわふよふよふわふわりうろろくるくるふわふわ飛び出したの